hats before. It is a great day to be alive in Pittsburgh, PA. Welcome in, friends, Yinzers, countrymen, to another edition of Kaboly+Mack. Starting a few minutes late today, through no fault of Kaboly's, actually, believe it or not. We wore the same hat, and we refused to start the stream, to start the show, until one of us had changed hats, and it was just easier for me to run up and get my typical, hey, give me an IC light hat, rather than wait for Kaboom's to pick one of the 17 all-black Iron City hats that he has. So
everybody knows you're the yellow hat guy and I'm the black hat guy. Everybody
I've never
knows
once in my life been referred to as the yellow hat
on
guy.
this show, you're the yellow hat guy.
I've worn black hats before. I own plenty of black hats that
Not
I've worn.
Iron City ones.
I mean, I have one just like the one that you're wearing
And
right back here. See that? Yeah. So there's no reason that the black Iron City hats should only be your domain.
My gimmick.
It's not a gimmick. Wearing a black hat is not a gimmick.
The black Iron
A gimmick
City
is like, oh, I'm a campy vampire who puts curses on people. I'm Danhausen. Like that's a gimmick. Like
honestly, when it comes to this show, if you look, there's people. I think there's people even make the ChatGPT thing of that. You always had the yellow hat on, and I had the black hat on.
Okay, whatever. It's not worth arguing about. I'll just let you have whatever you need to get.
I am right.
Whatever you need to get the show going. Some final reactions to the combine, since we had not seen quarterbacks and linemen work out last time we talked. And then we got to jump into both draft and free agency talk, because it's all right around the corner, especially free agency. Gets started unofficially on Monday, officially next Wednesday, March 11th. But there's the legal tampering period in there as well, which we all know. It just means free agency essentially starts on Monday. Mark, I don't know why we have a legal tampering period, but whatever. It is what it is. Make sure you follow us at Kaboly+Mack on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and get subscribed on YouTube as well so you don't miss a thing. My voice sucks. I don't know. Can you tell that I have a terrible sore throat?
I don't know. You got the radio voice going on, so it's hard to tell.
No, it's not a radio voice. It's just like I've been sick for like 4 days now. And
it's seventh caller wins free tickets to Jason Aldean.
I don't think I've ever talked like this.
I don't know. Casey.
And now, a long-distance dedication. Dear Casey.
You know that's still on like Sundays?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
On 80s on 8 on Sirius, yes, they do replay old ones, don't they? Or it's the 70s channel?
I don't know what it is, but I hear it.
One of them replays old. You're right. One of them replays old Casey Kasem countdowns from years ago.
I come out of these up-tempo songs and have to talk about a dead dog.
I got to talk about a dead dog, goddammit.
Another thing. Where's my... I forget what he says now. On the all-time rants.
I'm Casey Kasem. So
Corey's going to the draft. You better hope you got the hotel room and the 800,000 people there and a couple cans of IC Light.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Corey, if you don't already have a hotel room, just plan on staying in like Wheeling. And yeah, we can put up tents in the backyard because it's going to be ridiculous. What we were talking to someone the other day. 800,000 was the number they threw out. 800,000 visitors for the NFL draft. That's insanity.
That's a person for every dollar you make in a year.
Just off by just a little, by just a hair. just a hair.
Oh,
Um,
here, seventh caller here at Y108. How many times have you went to Kennywood?
what? How many times? First of all, let's start with the horrible grammar. How many times have Yeens went to Kennywood?
Oh,
And second of all, let's go
oh,
with the
let's get back.
why the terrible campy radio voice, and why would I ask people how many times they've been to Kennywood?
I don't know. That's your goofy gimmick, isn't it? Like, when it snows outside, do you put a folding chair or one of those plastic chairs to save your parking spot? Call me, seventh
No,
caller.
I've never asked that either. No, I think I took a video as I was driving through the South Side one day of like one of those cheap camping chairs that somebody had put up in a parking spot between snow piles. But at no point do I think I ever brought it up on Y108.
I know.
Which shows just how much you listen.
Let's go back to. I'm trying to think of a country guy other than Shabuzi.
You don't know any. You didn't know who Tim McGraw was, for Christ's sake.
I know Tug McGraw.
Yeah, Tim's his kid. Kind of a famous dude. No?
I believe you.
Okay.
Back to
800,000 visitors. 800,000 visitors coming for the draft. It's going to be bananas. We'll get into some draft stuff in just a couple of minutes. But first, want to thank our friends from Impact HVAC for supporting the program. They've been on board since the very beginning, and they will help you regardless of what's going on. Maybe it's your furnace acting up because there's still a few cold nights left in what's left of this winter as we start to pivot towards spring. Maybe once spring rolls around, your AC doesn't kick on and work the way you want it to. Either way, anything and everything in between, they will take a look at it. All you got to do is message them on Facebook at Impact HVAC PGH or give them a call at 412-297-1852, and they'll take care of you, whatever it may be. They've worked in both of our homes. We trust them because they do a great job, and they get it done right. Impact HVAC PGH on Facebook. We appreciate them supporting the program. So let's start with this. Anything that happened at the Combine that made you maybe not do a double take, but made you go, okay, that's it. Other than the dude from North Dakota or wherever with the mullet, the lineman. Iowa, sorry, whatever. Everything between Chicago and Seattle is North Dakota. And besides the dude with the mullet from Iowa, did anything make you catch your attention?
As in, you're talking about on the field performance or
anything? Yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing really surprised me with the quarterback situation. You knew, or at least I knew, or I figured that Drew Aller was going to show out, for the lack of me being old and sounding cringe of using that word. He has the arm talent, right? He has the athleticism. He can do pretty. He's a good tester, right? That's not the question with him. It's all the maybe intangibles. If you could somehow throw him and Will Howard together, you'd have a top 10 overall pick right there. So him going out there and doing what he was able to do, and he's going to be third quarterback off the board. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the second round, early third now. But he's just a great tester. And then another thing, just the overall speed of this combine is just ridiculous anymore. It's getting to the point where at least I look at it and say, have they cracked the code of let's speed train for months and months and months just to be able to get that 4.22 or 4.2?
Yeah, but if everybody has those numbers, does it really mean anything anymore? I don't
know. Some of them I think just don't care too. Whatever. I mean, like the tight end who ran the 4.39, he looked like a running back to me. He looked like a wide receiver to me. He don't look like a tight end to me. Seeing Darnell Washington clips from a couple years ago, they kept throwing up there. I'm like, who's that guy?
Look, did you see how skinny he looked?
That's what I'm saying. So people, you can get carried away, but you can get carried away with the whatever, the long high jump or whatever the hell they call it, 3 cones, whatever. But people still get enamored by the 40 time, and if it's 4.2, 4.22, 4.3, the safety from what's his name? Tate? Is that his name? I can't remember.
Yeah, Cornell.
No, Cornell Tate's the wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Caleb Downs?
Yeah, Downs.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, just because he has that huge number, he's just going to skyrocket up. The numbers are still there. There are people getting enamored by that pure speed. But to me, can you play football? I think a lot of personnel people look at that now. Okay, maybe if a guy just runs crazy speed, we take a second look at him. But I don't think the combine really is going to matter that much. I don't.
Well, I think it matters in some instances, like where you talked about, not necessarily because everybody's fast now. Okay. And if you don't come in and run a good 40 or do a nice 3-cone shuttle drill or whatever the hell they're called, then people are going to take notice. But I do think in instances like you talked about with that second tier of quarterbacks, like Aller just effortlessly like flicking footballs 60 yards downfield, like that is where people, not that they didn't see that on film, but I think when you're one of those quarterbacks, especially in like the Aller or Nussmeier or even Klubnik range, like guys who didn't have great years last year, but were expected to be high draft picks. If you go out during the combine as Aller did and show that you do, in fact, still retain that skill, then people are able to envision you in their offense a lot easier than they did maybe back in November when they didn't see jack squat from you during the college football regular season.
Yeah, it's true. I just don't know how long this combine is going to go on. I'd like to see the ratings for it. To be honest with you, because I don't know. Do you know
Well,
anybody that sat there and watched more than just a clip or just tuned in or watched the
judging by how often he
video of
tweeted
it?
about it, AP Tone was locked in on
Doing absolutely.
the
Well,
entire thing.
that's his job, though. I mean, his job is to go in the morning and say, "Hey, Pat, we're at the combine. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy is looking good." So he needs to.
But as far as like regular folk go, no, I don't know anybody that's sitting around locked in on the combine for hours. I flipped over to it a couple times between hockey games, between college basketball games, between laying on the couch half asleep. And saw a few things here and there, but it's not enough to keep you locked in. I mean, to watch guys sprint or to watch guys run, fade routes towards a little patch of turf. Like,
Yeah, and who cares if 5 offensive linemen ran sub 540s or 9 or whatever it was? I mean, if my guards running 40 yards down the field, we got an issue. I want to know that with that
that's a
10
good
yard,
problem to have if your guard's running 40 yards downfield. Actually,
I
that
want
means
to
he's
know
just smashing dudes.
I want to know what that 5 yard time, 5 yard, 10 yards off the ball quick.
I want to see some burst off the line, some burst.
I mean, as a safety, I mean, I guess a speed's good for a safety recovering off of your own screw up, maybe, or maybe be able to get to the edge if there's sort of a Tampa 2 finding that seam there, maybe, but I don't know. It just seems like to me it's not real because I'm not the first one to say this, but put the pads on them, put the helmet on them, do some of this stuff. If I'm sitting, one thing I do when I watch
Well, that's
practice.
why I think the Senior Bowl is a little more valuable in some instances.
Yeah,
like
all those guys don't go there though.
I know, but I
Hell with
mean,
it. When the Steelers practice and they go, 7-on-7 or on air, I just don't pay attention because it doesn't mean anything to me that a guy can just run a route with nobody covering him and you could throw a ball there. Great. I mean, but the problem is I think a lot of these scouts, coaches see a guy and say, okay, he has the speed, the hands, whatever. I could teach him everything else. I can't teach him how to run. I can't teach him how to jump 47 inches. I can't tell him how to have that explosive speed. I can coach him, and that's just the arrogance of the coach because a lot of times they can't do that. So they look at those numbers and say, "Hey,
they
I
get
can
enticed
teach
by the
this."
physical abilities. I get it.
Especially with quarterback. I mean, every single one of those quarterbacks, sort of like I would say with spring training in baseball. I go up there. You go to spring training in baseball and hit off of in the cage. 95% of those guys are going to be able to hit a home run at will. That doesn't mean nothing when April 10th comes around and you're pitching, batting against whoever, I can't think of the guy's name. Whatever. Yeah, a Skeens-like player. It's not going to
Okay.
make much of a difference, right? Anybody can do that. So anybody can throw. Now, can you put that into a scheme? Can you do it when people are rushing you? You can learn concepts. Can you learn the offense? Can you move quickly? That's where the game is won on the quarterback position too. So,
Well, speaking of the quarterback position, let's start there. This is dangerously close to deja vu, but when the hell are we going to hear something from Rodgers?
oh, man, I'm telling you right now, they have whatever he told them in these conversations has them believing that he's coming back. So when will that be? I'm guessing that will be. What is today? Tuesday?
Today's the 3rd.
Maybe next week at this time, end of next week, maybe a couple days into free agency. You're not going to. If Rodgers tells you now or tells you next Friday, it's not going to make much of a difference because you're not going to do anything in free agency and quarterback wise, anyways, right? Who's out there for you to go get? You're not going to go get. I mentioned a guy today that if Rodgers doesn't come back, would be interesting as a guy like a veteran like Easton Stick.
Easton Stick?
Yeah, because he's had some contact with Tom Arth. He's a guy that's just a veteran, like a Skylar Thompson, where you could add that guy in 2 weeks. I mean, if Aaron doesn't come back, I hate to tell everybody, it's going to be between Mason and Will. I mean, it's not like they're going to go get whatever, Malik Willis or anything, or draft Ty Simpson and throw him in there. It's just not going to happen. So I think still he'll make it official, unofficial.
Do you think there's any logic there that tells you he's waiting to see who and what they add the first couple days of free agency?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, hey, let me see what you're going to do here because I'm not coming back. All due respect to, his buddy Skoranek, but with Roman Wilson and Skoranek, and that's about it. That's the only one's under contract right now, really.
That's really it, yeah. So let's say we get to a week from Friday. Let's say it's December 13th, where
Friday the 13th, 2 months in a row? What the hell?
Yeah, that's what happens because February's 28 days. So everything just rotates back again.
I didn't know February was 28 days.
Yep, the more you know. So let's say we get to Friday, March 13th, and we're a solid 3 days, but really 5 days into free agency. And the Steelers haven't done anything yet at wide receiver. They haven't made a trade. They haven't been able to sign anybody. And they're kind of standing there with their pants down around their ankles going, I don't know.
Gainwell's gone.
What does Rodgers, does that put us in a realm where Rodgers says, okay, thanks, but no thanks. I think I'm going to go hang out on the beach.
Obviously, I don't have direct contact with Aaron Rodgers, but I would assume that would play something into it. I mean, if he's coming back, he wants to win, right? He wants to win because this would very well be his last year.
Right.
So, he wants to win, and he's not going to win if you have Kenny Gainwell gone, which potentially can happen, and you don't add to that wide receiver cast. Although I do think that that's going to happen. I really do think they're going to trade for one within the next week or so.
Okay, but
it could be right now, or it could be.
Let's stay in the world for just an extra minute here. A world where they don't go out and get anybody before free agency in a trade or during the first week of free agency. And like I said, Rodgers is waiting. He doesn't watch a lot of ESPN, but he's waiting to see the alerts on his phone, or he's waiting for somebody to tell him, oh, did you see you got this guy or that? Oh, Michael Pittman, or oh, this guy, Juwan Jennings, whatever. He's waiting to see that name. Yeah, well, he's waiting to see a name pop up on his phone. So that he knows he's not going back to a completely bare cupboard. If I'm Aaron Rodgers and I'm not yet committed nor signed, and I see that nobody's been added, then I say, guys, I appreciate what you provided me last year, and it was lots of fun, but I can't come back if that's all we got. Get back to me in a month if you figured some things out after the draft.
Well, then that's when you probably have to move on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
that's
move
kind of
on.
my point
But,
here
but, the,
is
but
that
the point is
he's waiting to see what they do. And if they don't do something significant in the next 10 days, then there's a real chance that we're in that world that you just described a minute ago, where it's Mason Rudolph and Will Howard and Easton Stick.
Easton Stick, baby. I'll
Mm,
take it. Better than this year's version of Skylar Thompson, right?
I guess.
I mean, I would say so, but my thought is, what's McCarthy officially been the coach for a month, a little bit more than a month now,
Yep.
and he's talked to him multiple times, and Omar's talked to him. Um, they're not going to say, "Hey, how's the dog? How's the wife? You still."
No, and he's not going to
Eh,
say, "Hey, did you happy to be back home, Mike?"
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you think the conversation? Hey, what's going
Hey,
on?
Aaron, you interested in coming back?
And
Yeah,
he
I'm
probably
thinking.
said blah blah blah, and
Yeah,
back
and
and forth, back
and
and
then he
forth.
says, "But we got to get some weapons. We got to do something, so we're
Okay,
not
and
struggling
if
towards
that
the end of
first
the year."
call was congratulations, Mike, I'm glad you're there, and I have no interest in coming back, then why would you call him back 2 3 times? So obviously,
No. See, nobody's bringing. I'm not anyway. I don't think anybody's bringing up this idea that he's not interested in coming back at all. I think they're in this sort of tenuous stage right now over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, where they have to, and you've written about it a couple times, so I'll give you credit, but like they have to add at wide receiver before the draft. Or else
yeah,
Rodgers may look at the situation and go, nah, I'm good. I'm going to hang on the beach with the dog.
yeah, I mean, very well could be it, but don't you think this has been discussed already on one of these
No, I'm not
multiple phone
doubting it's
calls?
been discussed that way, which puts even more pressure on them to go out and make a move for a wide receiver in free agency or a trade before the draft. But I mean, we're still 6 weeks, 7 weeks away from the draft.
They got 40+ million bucks.
Okay.
They can cut people, they can restructure people, they can get up to 60 million bucks real quickly in cap space, and you don't worry about those guys they have to sign near August and September because you can manipulate that
Mm-hmm.
contract to not be in the first year big hit. So they got as much money as basically they can, whatever they want to do. So I mean, the question I think is, which route do you go? Do you try to trade? I mean, all I say is Brian Thomas makes the most sense to me, just for the fact that he got 2 years/3 years left on his deal at a very friendly price. However, typically, if you're having that type of a price, you're going to have to pay more to get him, right? So
Yeah.
that's somewhat of an issue too. Now, Travis Hunter, what now going to play cornerback all the time now?
I mean, most of the time it sounds like.
But I mean, I have heard that Liam Cohen and company down there didn't meet eye to eye with those guys, with Brian Thomas. Maybe he's a possibility. All those other ones are very expensive, so maybe last ditch effort. I mean, does a guy like Mike Evans interest you? He's 30, what, two,
30,
something like that.
33, 32, 33. Yeah. I mean, not
I mean,
getting any younger.
he's gonna make decent money. He's gonna definitely make decent money, but it's one thing he can do. They'd have one heck of a red zone offense there, man. Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Darnell Washington, Fryermuth. Woo! So I think they'll add somebody. It's going to have to be somebody more than you know. I don't even say. I mean, a guy like Wandale Robinson, he's out there, but you would imagine he's going to re-sign with the Giants. There's so many options.
Well, but
Free
all of these.
agent wise, they're just really expensive, or no thanks.
So here's my question: are any of these guys the kind of moves that, again, if you're Aaron Rodgers sitting at home watching free agency unfold, are any of these guys the singular move that make you go, okay, yep, I'm all in. Let's go. I'm ready to commit before the draft.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they add somebody, I don't know if it's really hinging on that specifically, but they're going to have to add somebody. They're going to have a plan. But you can't provide him with a plan that's Not done yet. Okay, we're going to trade for somebody. Who? Maybe it falls through. Hey, we're going to draft somebody. How about if somebody's not there that you want at 21 and you don't draft somebody? Plus, I mean, when you draft somebody, there's no. I mean, we found out 2 years ago. There's no absolute guarantee he's going to come in and do anything right away.
Right.
I mean, even the best one, I think Deontay Johnson might have been one of the better ones that had that first year. It still wasn't mind-numbing numbers or anything like that. Now, guys have done it, but just not Steelers-wise. So something has to be done. Maybe Kenny Gainwell is a big part of this. I'm sure Rodgers loves him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I would imagine whatever was relayed in these conversations makes the Steelers 99.9% sure that Aaron Rodgers is coming back. At least that's how they're outwardly internally thinking and outwardly speaking.
It all just feels very, very familiar.
Once again, people moan, bitch, and complain about Aaron Rodgers. 27 touchdowns, whatever, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions with that group of wide receivers. Bro. Give me a decent
you know what?
number
I haven't heard
DK. I think a lot of people don't want him around. Lots. Fans.
In favor of what, though?
Oh, just give Will Howard a shot, and if he sucks, then we'll get a top 5 pick.
Well, I mean, look, if Rodgers does not end up coming back, then I think at some point you do have to see what you have in Howard. And if it's this year, then so be it. And if the guy looks terrible, then okay, But I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just a tough thing, though. I would say, first of all, have Will Howard come out and just start right away. I mean, it could happen. I mean, very well could happen, but it's not. It's not a guarantee that. First of all, he would be successful, and it's not a guarantee if you freaking go 6-11 that you're getting Drake May next year. You might be getting Zach Wilson. I mean, people. That's what cracks me up a lot. People associate losing, tanking 6-11 with Drake May ish person. They never say, "Boy, I could get a Josh Rosen or a Zach Wilson or a Trey Lance."
Yeah, no, and I'm not of the mind that just because you go 4-13, you're going to automatically get the next franchise quarterback. Like you said, it's not a guarantee. But I would say that, again, if Rodgers is not interested in coming back, and you're in this spot where you don't want to pay Malik Willis $30 million, because who the hell wants to do that? And you can't trade for Mac Jones because the Niners are holding out for like multiple second-day picks. Or you can't. No, thanks. Or, you can't find a reasonable option otherwise, then, yeah, you know what? I go into training camp with Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, and maybe another quarterback that I drafted this year, and I let Will Howard have a friggin' crack at it. And if it all goes up in flames, it goes up in flames, and so be it. But at least we have an idea of whether one of these young guys is our next franchise quarterback.
I didn't sneeze, but as for the Will Howard, there's a lot of talk or some talk about Steelers just being phony about what they believe in him, how much they're. Trust me, I really do believe Mike McCarthy likes him for the fact of his intangibles. Again, he's a winner. He's a big body guy who's a smart guy, right? What am I talking about before about the coaches, right? Now, everything else he can teach him, and he views him as a block of clay. He has the, I guess, the stiffness of the clay. It just needs to be worked out into something, right?
It's got really weird.
Honestly, that's why
who's Patrick Swayze and who's Demi Moore in this analogy?
Isn't it really like Whoopi Goldberg really like making out with Demi Moore? I mean, in theory, right?
I don't remember.
No, because I mean, he took over Whoopi's body, so when they're doing that, it's really Whoopi and her making.
I thought it was he's a ghost, right? So she's making out with a ghost.
No, he's entered Whoopi Goldberg's body, right?
I thought that was just to get in the apartment, and then like he comes out of her body. I don't know. I don't remember. I saw the movie once when I was like
I
12.
think she was making Whoopi with Whoopi. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Clay.
You were talking about Will Howard being a lump of clay.
And that's what they really, really like about him. He thinks that if he has a year or two with him, he can mold him into something and teach him because he's smart. He has everywhere he goes, he wins. He can use his legs. I think that's why. Plus, he's young. So I think that's why he doesn't know. Don't give me this bullshit about
bullshit.
Boy. I watched all of his practice tape. I took about 5 minutes. There was no practice tape unless you're doing air on air again, 7-on-7s.
Everybody's telling me that you have no idea how that scene actually goes in Ghost, and I don't really remember either.
There ain't no doubt in my mind I'm correct.
Everybody's saying you're wrong, that it's not that wrong. Scene where they're making out.
He's not making out. She's not like, no. He definitely enters her body because that goofy guy in the train showed him how to do it. You remember?
Right, yeah. But I think the point everybody's making is that's different than the scene where they're like making out over the pottery wheel. That's not Whoopi. That it's legit her and the ghost. Like she finally sees the ghost itself and is making out with the ghost.
Internally, like not physically. It's physically Whoopi.
Look, I trust Carol. She says he enters her body and dances with Demi Moore, but it's not the same scene, I don't think, where they're making out.
Yes, it is.
Justin says you're unbelievably wrong.
Justine. I'm sure Justine is a big Danhausen fan, so I definitely don't believe in him.
Carol says he's still alive when they do the pottery scene. I don't know. I've seen the movie Ghost once, and it was like 35 years ago.
How have you only seen that one? How have you only seen that one?
Because it's not one that I stopped to watch. What? You've seen it more than that? Hold on. I want to get this straight. Just a second here. Just for my own
edification. You brought up Ghost.
No, because you were talking about Will Howard as a lump of clay.
Well, yeah.
And I said, who's Patrick Swayze and who's Demi Moore? And then you drop in like, well, that's actually Whoopi Goldberg that Demi Moore's making out with.
It is. In theory, in reality, it is. In theory, it's Patrick Swayze or whatever the hell his name is.
I don't think that's how it works. Again, I'm not watching Ghost often enough when it's on that I'm catching the details like this. You apparently are. You're a big fan. Is this like your Valentine's Day movie with the wife? You guys sit down and watch Ghost?
Of that, to get off on tangent a little bit more.
I think Corey's right. You're an undercover romantic.
No. I'll tell you something I'm really excited about. The kid comes home from 5th grade and says, hey, we're having this Penny Wars or whatever crap, right?
Yeah.
She goes, if we win, we get to watch a movie. I'm like, cool. What movie would that be? That they're like, they picked this movie called Karate Kid. I'm like, well, you want $20? The boy goes, I think we get to watch, I don't know, Peter Pan. I don't know what the hell it is. She goes, you have to watch Karate Kid. I said, I'll give you $20 to
You're
put
gonna see, kids are going to be like, who's that guy? Who's that guy sitting in the back of the classroom?
I said,
don't mind. That's just Mr. Kaboly. He's here to watch Karate Kid with us.
How about that? Jefferson Hills, baby. Intermediate school is really
that doesn't surprise me. Their principal up there, Mr. Very, is I can see him being a big Karate Kid Cobra Kai guy.
He should be.
He's a good human too. So now that we've established that Will Howard is a lump of clay and that Mike McCarthy has entered Whoopi Goldberg's body or something,
so who would Demi Moore be then?
I don't know.
Demi Moore would be Will Howard and Mike McCarthy.
Okay, stop. I can't anymore with the analogy. I mentioned it as a joke, and now you've gone too far, and you've ruined both Ghost and the idea of pottery and the idea of Will Howard. So I'm sorry, you've ruined it. Thanks to our friends at Higgins Professional Painting for supporting the show. They've been fantastic to us. They can be for you as well because they do it all: interior, exterior painting in your home, drywall repair before they do the painting. They'll do a color consult if you need one, if you feel like you want one done. Get in touch with them today. Commercial and industrial as well. They've been doing it for 4 decades in the Pittsburgh area. Family-run business. They know what they're doing. They do a fantastic job, and they'll leave you happy. HigginsProfessional.com, 412-344-0480. HigginsProfessional.com to schedule the free estimate. 412-344-0480.
I have to give him a call, man. I do.
Why? I thought they already did stuff for you.
Well, I told you in my house, man, my living area is crap, and now the wife wants to put some kind of wallpaper in like the entryway, and I'm like,
wallpaper?
I'll give Corey a call and come get an estimate, okay?
Wallpaper?
There's wallpaper like in the entryway to the house. I don't know. She saw it online somewhere. I'm like, whatever. That's what I'm saying, man. Right here, Great Phil Main's had him out their house.
Yeah, they do a good job. We appreciate him supporting the program. I want to go back to someone you brought up and ask how realistic it is whether he's actually back or not. And that's Kenny G. Because you wrote about it this morning. It makes sense for him to just hit the open market. Hit the open market, see how much he can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be basically impossible unless the Steelers wildly overpay to keep him from hitting the free agent market. So how realistic is it that he's actually back? And in that instance, all of a sudden running back becomes a need too, because I don't think you can go into the regular season with Jaylen Warren and unproven Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson's the wild card. I mean, last year he looked really good the first day of camp. After that, not so much. I'm not quite sure what happened after that. Maybe they feel that they can get something out of him. But once again, you look at that free agency market, and there's a lot of guys that you're like, I probably would just like to go with what we have right now, right? There's, the upper echelon one, but you're not going to get Kenny Walker. You're not going to get, a Travis Etienne or anything like that. I don't believe you would get any of those guys. I think it would be somewhat of a waste. J.K. Dobbins and those guys were out there. So how much is Gainwell worth? Is he worth $3 a year? Is he a 2 for $8 guy? Is he a 3 for $10 guy?
He's going to get more. He's going to get more than that on the.
What's in his favor is that he showed he can run last year. Before he was a third down niche guy.
Yes.
Now he's like, hey, look at this, bro. I can run. I can return punts. I can catch balls out of the backfield. I can catch balls down the field. So they're going to have to give him a significant offer. First of all, I wouldn't probably take any offer if I'm Kenny Gainwell until I go see. Or, that's what the tampering period's for. That's what now is for. Hey, we're interested. We're interested in giving you this. So if he signs before that with the Steelers, that tells me that the market wasn't as robust for him as it may have been.
I don't think 3 years and $15 million is crazy. Like $5 million a year is not nuts.
That's Jaylen Warren money.
Okay, they're basically they're complementary backs to one another. I think that makes a ton of sense. Plus, that also gets him to a point where, the only guys that are probably going to get more than that on the open market are like the ones that you mentioned, like Kenneth Walker III or Travis Etienne. Nobody else on the open market is going to get that much. So it locks him in at a price that makes him probably gives him the third or fourth best deal out of any free agent running back in this year's free agency cycle. And he doesn't have to worry about hitting the market and going out and doing all that. Could he probably get it somewhere else? Yeah, probably. But would he rather just take that here? That seems like a realistic price in my opinion. And it cuts everything off before he goes out and hits the open market.
It's a new staff, so how's he going to be used too? Right? You would think if Rodgers comes back, it's going to be somewhat similar to what they did last year. So you got to be careful of how much more money you can get somewhere else, where all of a sudden you become that third down back again and sitting on the sidelines. So where's that happy medium there of at least maybe what you're going to get here? Still, if I'm him, I'm going somebody offer me $100,000 more, not maybe more than that, $1 million more, I'm going there. I don't care if I'm Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be in a position, though, like you said, where you end up getting shuffled to the back of the line. Like, you don't want to be in a similar position to where you were in Philly, where you were behind arguably the best running back in the league, and you're never touching the ball.
You have to look at some of the guarantees, too, because if I go to, say, Tennessee, right?
Okay.
I get 3 for 15, but they can whack me after a season. What the hell, right? That means you're getting like 5 or 6 or whatever the guaranteed money is. So you got to be aware of that too. Where if you go there and you don't fit in. By the way, who the hell is the coach of? Oh, it's Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
I know who the coach was in Tennessee. Does he have 9 kids?
What?
He said that on Pat's show the other day. He has 8 or 9 kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude's not old enough to have that many kids, is he? He's 47. He's got 9 kids.
8 or 9. He had a funny quote, something about like the wife gets him when he's sleeping or something like that. I forget what he said, but my point is, you
8
just
children. They've got 8 kids.
yeah. Even people make fun of Phil Rivers. That's ridiculous. I can't handle 2.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. I can't either. That's insane.
Well,
His wife's got to be a saint. He's working 12 hours a day.
the daughter had a friend over staying over Saturday night, and I was about beating my head off the wall.
What time they go to sleep? Like 2 a.m.
I shut the door and locked it in my room. I'm like, hey, would you please quit jumping off the table? Could you please? Another thing is, they leave. It's like 62 glasses dirty. Just use the same damn glass of water. Why do I have to get a new glass every single time?
That's what they do. Yeah. Oh, I know what we didn't get a chance to talk about. I'll get to it. Actually, I'll save it for after we talk the latest mock draft that I saw. First, though, thanks to our good friend Arch. Archie's on Carson, Pittsburgh's best place for food, drinks, and sports. You want to get down there, watch a Pens game,
Tonight?
watch some college hoops, whatever it is, Monday through Thursday, they got 80-cent wings, and they are fantastic. Always fresh, never frozen. Maybe if you're a little stuffed up like I am, you get something spicy with a little kick to clear the sinuses out, and then you wash it all down with an ice cold Iron or Iron City Light. Maybe a mango. It's almost mango season, too. So get on down to Archie's on Carson, right there in the South Side. Get some wings, get some iron, and enjoy yourself while you're watching a game. Pittsburgh's best place for food, drinks, and sports. Thanks again to Arch for supporting the show. Latest mock draft I saw.
Big Penguin game tonight down at Arches, huh? I had wings. I had wings at a place called what the hell is it called? I don't know. Somewhere in Indy. They're good, but every time I took a bite, I'm like, these aren't Arches.
No,
I forget what it's called. I don't know what the hell it is. Kilroy's. That's it. Kilroy's. They were good, but they ain't no Arches.
No, nobody's Arch.
Yeah, I need some Arch wings. For God's sake, I need to get down there.
Latest mock draft I saw, Jordan Reed of ESPN, who I think does a pretty good job at mock drafts. Jordan Tyson slides all the way to the Steelers at 21. The kid from Arizona State.
Yeah,
you like that one?
I think it helped. I think it helped that he didn't do any on-field stuff. It helps him be forgotten for a little bit.
Everybody's worried that he's kind of Italian though, fragile.
Well, that's fine too. Steelers have not been hesitant in taking fragile people in the past couple drafts. They've worked out pretty well. Darnell, right?
Did Darnell really have the fragile label?
He had that bad knee coming in. I mean, Peyton Wilson didn't have a freaking ACL.
Yeah, well.
There's others I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, they tend to not really care about it as long as they pass their medicals. But I mean, everybody is going to mock a receiver to the Steelers because they talked to 14 freaking wide receivers at the combine. So I mean, that's what they're going to take, unless. I always say this: what if there's a run on receivers? Say there's 6 in the first round. You're down to 5 and 4 are gone. 5 are gone. Maybe 6 and 7 are there. You like this guy, player X wide receiver, but you're not in love with him. Then all of a sudden the Penn State guard there and the Florida freaking Banks defensive end who's there who showed out at the combine because he didn't really play last year that much. Well, what do you do then? Do you take the best guard, maybe the best edge rusher in the 3-4 or out defensive end, or do you take the fifth receiver on your board?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of flexibility given that they have the 3 picks in the third round too. Like you can address needs, a whole bunch of needs, in the first and second day based on how the board falls.
There's a lot of good guards.
Yeah.
Free agency. So you're probably going to have to add one there.
I noticed you made, this is unrelated to the draft, you made a bit of a wager the other day, did you not?
Oh,
there's no hiding.
Jesus Christ.
There's no hiding now, Pizza Boy Kaboly.
Wait a second here. Yeah, son of a, you know what?
Oh, well, you're going to try to hide.
Did you guys set me up here or something? I'm
Yeah,
like, I haven't heard from him yet. I haven't heard from him at all. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, totally.
Don't worry. We're getting this pizza scheduled. I'm talking with my wife, figuring out when the best time for you to deliver this warm Fiore's pizza, the best pizza in Western PA. Fiore's.
Hey, Christian, I got a question here. I need to see the birth certificate of that sophomore guy of yours. I think
Luca.
he's 26. He's 26.
He's not 26. He's still got a baby face. He has no facial hair. He's 16 years old. He's got his driver's permit, not even his license.
Didn't we beat you guys in the regular season?
Hey, when there's money on the line, or there's a little wager on the line, a little Fiore's pizza. I mean, my guys came ready, and then I got to tell you something. I did send a little pump up video to them to ensure that we were gonna pound TJ, not just beat him, but we really wanted to. I wanted to ensure that this pizza was coming hot and ready to my front door, and I'll have some beers waiting for you here when you get here.
Honestly, I've heard. I've talked to Dom DeSico, and he told me that the refs were really cheating him that day.
Oh my gosh! See, yeah, okay. You're using the refs.
You barely beat Moon.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm grasping for straws here.
Yeah, you're totally backed into a corner here, man.
You're done, Kaboly. I live in the South Hills, so we're fairly close. I mean, we'll make this. I'll make sure that this is convenient for you.
You know what? I got one of those pizza boxes that you put in, and it keeps it warm too.
And I want you to wear a hat.
What's that?
No. I want you to wear a pizza hat when you come to my front door.
You know what? My daughter might have one, like a Chef Boyardee one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want you to come to my front door, and I'm going to tell you, Mark. I got a ton of friends coming over for this that saw the tweet and saw the action on the tweet, and they can't wait to see Pizza Boy Kaboly pull up to my house with a hot.
I delivered pizza when I was 16, 17, 18. It was some miserable time in my life. I appreciate you bringing back the memories for this. Thank you.
Well, no problem.
This is what happens when you make a bet. You got to be willing to pay up.
Yep. And that's why Matt called me in here today, just to reiterate that bet was made, and I have not forgotten. I have a month. You have a month to uphold this bet, and don't worry. Me and my wife are coordinating the perfect time when we're craving a hot Fiore's pizza.
Yeah, I'm going to get like anchovies on it too.
No, you can't.
Oh yeah.
No, you got to deliver exactly what he orders.
That's true. The Johnny the Barber writes in our comments, how about if I just take a couple slices, then give you a half-eaten pizza? I follow through on my bets, unlike Mac.
What are you talking about? I haven't lost a bet to you yet.
Yeah.
You're supposed to dye your beard all black because I beat you in the picks competition this year. Still haven't seen that happen.
Yeah. I got absolutely set up here. I don't appreciate this.
I have text evidence. I asked you if you had heard from Kuntz about the bet.
Yeah, then you didn't say anything.
And you said he never reached out. Hopefully he forgot. At which point I texted Christian to make sure he didn't forget.
Oh, man.
So you're nailed.
Absolutely, I didn't forget, and I don't mean to. I just wanted to hop on here quick and remind you, Kaboly, I never forget my bets, especially the winners. I gotta go. My baby's crying,
I
but
hear it.
I'm
Tell the
gonna just.
family I said hello, and you're going to really trust me with the pizza. Good luck.
I will. I'm gonna reiterate to my wife right now that we got a hot free one coming this weekend, possibly.
All
Perfect.
right.
Goodbye. Thanks.
See ya.
You son of a bitch. You, not him. I mean, you got at least let me aware of this so I have a little plan of what to say.
No. I had to surprise you with this one. After you told me that you were openly hoping he had forgotten about it somehow.
Yeah,
I was like,
am I
nope.
gonna get a tip?
No, you're not going to get a tip.
All right.
All right. You feel better now?
Yeah. Wait.
After you got ambushed?
No. Let's see. Let's click up Johnny the Barber. Is Pony really dyeing his hair?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I do Pony's color.
Johnny the Barber would say something like that.
I might believe him on this one.
Just to stir the pot.
I don't know. I know he has a makeup artist, so maybe
he's also a professional. Look, I'm not here to stand up for Filipponi, but he can handle that himself. But we also know that Johnny the Barber is a professional shit stirrer. So, you might be throwing it out there just to throw it out there.
Probably should bring Kuntz a case of Iron City.
You should. Some of the draft beer, some of the stuff that's coming out on March 9th, this coming Monday.
Ooh,
Limited edition.
I heard it's very limited edition, so
you better get it quick.
You better
go to
get
your iron.
You better go to Duffy's and get a case.
Real quick, I know what you think about this already, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it, and I wanted to get it out there before we wrap up. You're fine. You'll get right back on track with this. The NFLPA report cards. They came out like right after we did our last episode, and it's been a few days, so it's kind of out of the news cycle.
Darn leaks.
But like
my ass.
They have to do something about their practice facility. They have to.
Yeah, they got to move.
Yeah.
That's it.
They have to get a new place. Now, I don't know if that means they finally move to the suburbs. I don't know if you finally get your dream plan in place of them taking over the old Century 3 Mall location.
Perfect. That's where you should go.
Or if they stay in the city somehow. I don't know how
they're just opening a 7 Brew right down the street from the old Century 3. What else do you need?
Yeah, I mean 7 Brew and Cane's and Chick-fil-A and Starbucks.
Yoli's.
Yep, Yoli's right up the road as well.
I'm telling you, the way I look at it is this. First of all, they put 2015, put 10, 12, 14 million bucks into that building, added an addition, what they could have addition, upgraded their entire weight room. They did stuff with the entranceway. They tried to push out the mail room. They give more room to the cooks in the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. There's just no space. The locker rooms suck. Trust me, they suck because they don't have any room. Plus, when they built this 27 years ago or put plans together 27 years ago, they weren't expecting to have 90 people in that goddamn locker room. There was not 20 practice squad guys. There was like 4, 5, so it's a lot less. Plus, you got to move out. That's the only way you can do that. And people say, oh, Pitt's is beautiful over there. You know what Pitt doesn't have? A third of their building, which is the cafeteria prep food area, which is on the Steelers side, that takes up a huge chunk of space, where if that was not on their side, they could have just expanded the locker rooms and make it as nice and big as they want. Parking stinks. They have to fight with Pitt with Fields from time to time, even though they get first choice. One option, move out. And I'm not going to sit there and criticize them for the building they have right now. Sometimes you live in an old building. But I will criticize them.
But they got to fix it, is my point.
Yes, if it comes 2013 and there's nothing in plan and they up their lease for 10 more years, then you have a huge problem. That's what I say. Right now, I'm not putting a ton of money into a building. I'm leaving.
So it's hard to get a handle on where it goes from here, because Again, I would think Art Rooney II probably wants them to stay in the city if they can.
I would think so, but
I don't
Art
think
Rooney probably knows the
he
Butler
also
County
doesn't want to spend as much money, and it's going to cost more money to acquire land in the city and build a new facility with the infrastructure necessary in the city. Like, even if it's just over in Hazelwood.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even add to the facility there upwards because the ground's unstable because the river's right there. Can't go right because the railroad track's 4 feet from there. Can't go this way because the indoor facility. Can't go that way because there's another businesses down there. You have to acquire land. You have to find sponsors. You got to build it. I mean, there's just so much to it. You would think that they would, since they hired Morehouse a couple years ago, that was part of his job description. I would imagine it is
Right.
where do you go? I mean,
Granbury or South
Washington, PA?
Those are the next two most logical
Wexford?
options.
Wexford has a lot of open land. A lot of
You're
people
still in
live up
Allegheny County there, so maybe a little
there.
more expensive.
Cranberry, maybe Butler County taxes, but I don't know if that interests them more than, I mean, what they should have did was buy all the land across the river in Hazelwood,
yeah.
but that's all taken up. I mean, that's what they should have did, but there is no fixing it. They've added a sauna to the bathroom. They shoved it in there because there was no place for it to go. You know, they updated the locker room to a degree this year. They put new carpet, new paint, new color schemes. They put video boards up like TVs and stuff like that. But they're never going to have stuff like you see at like Atlanta.
Well, like guys would put up with the old locker and the wooden footstools and all that. They would put up with that if they had more space and they had more amenities outside the locker room. Like the locker room, for all intents and purposes, really at the practice facility is not where they spend most of their time. They're spending it in the meeting rooms, behind the
upstairs,
treatment rooms, all that.
We were up. The media room was in the building. They kicked us out and put the offensive line room there.
Yeah,
they moved a lot of people out of there and moved them into a makeshift office area on the back end of the practice indoor facility. So they're doing, they're shoving stuff in corners everywhere they can go to find room, and there's just not enough room.
Yeah, so they've got to get it together. The other part that was interesting was the field, obviously, and I know they're putting new turf in now.
Yeah,
not artificial turf. It's it's Bermuda grass instead of bluegrass, and it's supposed to be more cold resistant. And I don't know,
it's I know they're doing a lot of upgrades there seat wise. I think they're eventually going to add more boxes. They're going to move the press box. They're adding some kind of big ass bar next to the locker room. It's all this crazy stuff going on down there. But I don't think the field was that bad, other than last year. Last year was.
I mean, there's a game or two every year.
It was decent.
There's a game or two every year at some point, whether it comes after the WPIAL and Pitt season, after the WPIAL championships and the Pitt season is over, and they aren't able to get it resodded immediately. They've gotten better about that in the last few years. Whether it's right before that, and then all of a sudden, like they're playing on a field that's just got chunks of grass flying up. Like every year, there's at least one game where that field looks like garbage.
Yeah,
and
garbage a lot this year. And I think they blamed it on the sod farms, whatever. I think what screwed them this year with that field is I think they resodded it 1 week too late, and it was really bad. It should have been done a little bit before that. But, they need to fix the field. I think the SEA pays for it, but the Steelers have to take care of it. But now the NFL is jumping in and says this has to meet certain standards. That's fine. I don't know how much you blame the ownership on that. It's just the field has just never been great, never been a great surface.
Right, but it's never that bad in, say, I don't know, Cleveland. Like, Cleveland resods it periodically. Like the game against the Steelers this year, they had resodded everything between the numbers, and everything outside the numbers did actually look kind of choppy. But like you don't see this in. I'm trying to think of other teams that play on grass in our region.
Here's the thing: their practice facility grass is great, and it's the same people taking care of it. So something's different between there and there.
I don't know. They got to get it together though, because you can't have people getting hurt.
No, you can't. I mean, they should. What they really needed to do was fix that New York Giants turf that ended Zach Banner's career.
Well, yeah, that's Philly, I believe. Justin suggests them, who also shares with Temple. I don't know if Temple plays all of their home games at the link, A, and plus, B, I think theirs is more of a hybrid turf, isn't it?
I don't know. Steelers used to have the hybrid turf. They tried it a bunch. But if you, like I said, facility, you should see where they park us now in facility-wise. All of last year, we had to park down on the south side and walk a mile and a half to the freaking facility. So there's parking is just disastrous, disgusting there too. They need to move. Period. That's the only way you fix it. 5 commodes. You know what though? They spend a lot of time on the second floor meeting rooms, and there's a couple commodes up there too.
Oh well, in that case.
Well,
like, you're an NFL organization. You can make sure there's more than enough toilets.
Listen, they not only did that, is they moved us to the indoor facility, the media room, to where Coach Bill Cowher's racquetball court was. He put a lot of money into it and fixing it up, making it look like a room, but we're in a racquetball court.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, every inch of that place is taken. And I don't know what you want them to do other than move. You can't fix that. You can't. And to be honest with you, even if they do move to a different place, guess what they're going to have? Wooden lockers.
And like I said, that's all fine if everything else is built out to the point where you look at that more as like, oh, this is the character of the organization. This is kind of why I wanted to come to Pittsburgh. It's got that old school feel. If the rest of the place is, immaculate and plenty of space and all the amenities you could possibly want, then you're okay with sitting down on a wooden stool at a wooden locker.
Not many of those guys do that. They get dressed there and they leave. Plus they have folding chairs too. And I thought somebody mentioned that. They're nice soft chairs, but they're folding chairs that they get to sit on in their locker room. They don't have those big moon chairs or anything,
That's just crazy to me. That I get it. It's part of the character of the.
It was state of the art 27 years ago. Nobody did that. Nobody had that. Now it's crap. My 1988 7 Dodge Shadow was cool at one point too. Well, all of a sudden
you drove that thing into the ground.
It's like, shit, man. This ain't cool at all anymore. It's starting to smoke and would lose oil and shit. What am I going to do? Just put a new engine into it, or just go buy a new one? You like that analogy, huh?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was actually that was a better analogy than the whole Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore one. When you talked about Will Howard as a pile of clay. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. We'll be back later in the week, Friday, to get you ready for free agency officially hitting on Monday and Wednesday of next week. Thanks for supporting the program. Make sure you're following on all the social media and subscribed on YouTube.